There are places where simply setting foot on the land makes you feel as though you have entered another world, where colossal mountain ranges have been sculpted by time over millions of years, and rivers carry the history of an entire civilization. Amid this majestic natural landscape, there are still wonders that make modern people ask themselves, how could they possibly have created all of this? This is China, a land where nature and history come together to create landscapes that seem to go beyond imagination. On today's journey, you will discover places that can leave even the most experienced travelers speechless. From colossal statues carved directly into mountain cliffs, to wooden walkways clinging to sheer drops hundreds of meters high, and roaring golden waterfalls with the thunderous power of nature itself. Every destination hides its own story, its own mystery, and a sense of awe that even images can hardly capture. But the strangest part is still waiting ahead. In the final moments of this journey, you will enter a region almost completely isolated from the rest of the world, a place with an extreme climate, treacherous terrain, and phenomena so strange that the boundary between reality and illusion seems to disappear. It is one of the most mysterious and difficult to reach places in all of China. So stay with us until the very end of this journey. Perhaps somewhere among the towering cliffs, the mighty rivers, or landscapes that seem to exist only in legends, you will discover a sight you will never forget. And if one destination impresses you the most, don't forget to share it in the comments. Now let's begin our journey of discovery. Number 1. Picturesque destinations and the exquisite craftsmanship of ancient architecture. Fenghuang Ancient Town is an unmissable destination in Hunan Province. The scenery here resembles a traditional Chinese ink painting, with ancient wooden houses standing closely together along the Tuojiang River. These houses were built in the traditional Diaojiaolu architectural style, with wooden pillars extending deep into the riverbed to support the structures above the water. You will also see ancient stone bridges that have stood for more than 300 years, witnessing centuries of historical change. The ancient town is also known for its bluestone paved streets, worn smooth by the footsteps of countless people over many centuries. As you walk along these narrow paths, you can feel the passage of time in every wooden structure. When night falls, thousands of red lanterns are illuminated at once, their reflections shimmering across the water and creating a dazzling atmosphere. The combination of natural scenery, ancient houses, and centuries-old traditions has made this place a captivating destination. According to legend, the town was named Fenghuang, meaning phoenix, because this mythical bird was believed to return here to bring prosperity. Local people believed that the appearance of the phoenix was a sign of good fortune and everlasting peace for this land. Wangxian Valley in Jiangxi Province is another famous destination known for its peaceful and mysterious beauty. The name Wangxian means gazing at the immortals, evoking ancient stories of wise immortal beings who once wandered through this land. The valley is surrounded by winding limestone mountains, with crystal-clear streams flowing continuously through rocky crevices. The buildings throughout the valley, such as rest pavilions and observation platforms, are constructed entirely from stone and wood in a traditional architectural style. Most remarkable of all are the houses built directly into sheer cliffs more than 100 meters high. You may find yourself wondering, how could people in ancient times transport construction materials and build such solid structures at such incredible heights? A network of suspension bridges connects the houses, creating pathways that seem to float in midair. Each season brings a completely different atmosphere, from spring flowers covering the pathways, to golden leaves carpeting the ground in autumn. These structures demonstrate humanity's remarkable ability to adapt to difficult and treacherous terrain. When it comes to water, Tianchi Lake in the Tianshan Mountains cannot be overlooked. It is one of the highest mountain lakes in the Xinjiang region. Tianchi Lake sits at an elevation of about 1,900 meters above sea level, where the air is thin and temperatures remain cool throughout the year. The lake is surrounded by lush green pine forests and the snow-covered peaks of the Tian Shan Mountains. When sunlight shines down, the calm surface of the lake resembles a gigantic mirror, reflecting the deep blue sky above. The lake's emerald blue water comes from accumulated snowmelt and minerals found in the surrounding land. During winter, the ice covering the lake can grow more than 1 meter thick, transforming the entire area into a frozen kingdom. In local culture, the lake is believed to have been a bathing place of the Queen Mother of the West in ancient legends. Pilgrims who come here believe that simply touching the cold, clear water can wash away the exhaustion of everyday life. With a similar sense of purity, Basongcuo Lake in Tibet is a hidden jewel nestled among the mountains. The lake stretches like a ribbon of deep blue-green water at an elevation of about 3,500 meters, where clouds often drift across the rocky mountain slopes. What makes the lake especially remarkable is the presence of a small island located right in the middle of the water. On the island stands an ancient temple, dating back to the 7th century, with bronze statues and intricately carved wooden artworks. You will see 5 colored Tibetan prayer flags fluttering continuously in the wind, carrying prayers for peace across the world. During major religious festivals, Tibetan people often walk around the lake as part of their spiritual rituals. The sound of temple bells echoes through the silence, creating an almost unbelievable sense of peace. Number 2. Great monuments and faith carved into stone. The Leshan Giant Buddha, located in Sichuan province, is the largest stone Buddha statue in the world, carved directly into the cliff face of Lingyan Mountain. You have to look far upward just to take in the full height of this 71-meter-tall statue. Its shoulders are 24 meters wide, roughly equivalent to half the width of a standard soccer field. Even one of the giant Buddha's feet is large enough for more than 100 people to stand on at the same time. Construction began in 713 during the Tang dynasty and continued for 90 years. This is not merely a work of art, but also an extraordinary achievement of ancient engineering. Ancient craftsmen carved enormous quantities of stone from the cliff to create the figure of the Buddha, hoping that it would calm the dangerous waters at the confluence of 3 rivers, the Min, Dadu, and Qingyi rivers. The statue also contains an ingenious hidden drainage system built into its hair, behind its ears, and throughout other parts of its body. This system allows rainwater to drain away, helping protect the statue from erosion for more than 1,300 years. Not far away, the Longmen Grottoes in Henan province represent one of the greatest collections of Buddhist stone carvings in human history. Stretching along approximately 1 kilometer of cliffs beside the Yi River, the site contains more than 100,000 Buddhist statues carved directly into the rock. Some of these statues rise as high as 17 meters, with every detail of their faces rendered with extraordinary precision. Every section of stone was carefully carved and refined, recreating the spiritual world of Chinese dynasties from the Northern Wei to the Tang dynasty. The river winds beneath the cliffs, further enhancing the solemn beauty of these ancient caves. As you step inside the grottos, cool air and almost complete silence surround you. The reason these Buddhist statues were carved here can be traced back to the religious devotion of ancient Chinese emperors. They mobilized tens of thousands of craftsmen who worked for centuries to transform barren rock faces into timeless works of art. Sharing that same profound connection between faith and stone, the Yungang Grottoes in Shaanxi province are another extraordinary cultural wonder. Carved into the cliffs of Hukou Mountain, this site contains 53 major caves and preserves more than 51,000 Buddhist statues of all sizes. These statues come in an extraordinary variety of forms, from tiny human figures only a few centimeters tall to colossal sculptures reaching 17 meters in height. The carvings reflect the cultural and artistic exchange between India, Central Asia, and China along the ancient Silk Road. You can see robes carved so delicately that they appear almost real, and mysterious smiles still lingering on the lips of ancient stone statues. The landscape surrounding the Yungang Grottoes is equally impressive, with towering cliffs and a largely untouched natural environment. These caves serve not only religious purposes, but also stand as evidence of the limitless creativity of human beings when guided by faith. Mount Hua, located in Sichuan province, is one of the 4 most sacred Buddhist mountains in China. Rising to an elevation of 3,099 meters, the mountain attracts visitors with its majestic scenery and diverse ecosystem, home to more than 3,000 species of plants. One of the highlights of Mount Hua is the Golden Summit, where a magnificent 48-meter-tall, 4-faced statue of Samantabhadra shines brilliantly beneath the sunlight. From this location, you can stand above a vast sea of white clouds and sometimes see your own shadow reflected in the mist. This phenomenon is known as the Buddha's light, an optical phenomenon that occurs when sunlight is scattered by tiny water droplets in the air. Beyond its natural beauty, Mount Imei is also famous for more than 30 ancient temples hidden deep within its forests. These temples preserve thousands of handwritten Buddhist scriptures and precious religious artifacts. The combination of drifting clouds, mountain scenery, and the sound of temple bells creates an extraordinary atmosphere. Number 3. Breathtaking peaks and challenges at the limits of survival. When it comes to extreme adventure, Mount Hua in Shaanxi province cannot be overlooked. It is one of the steepest mountains on Earth. Its highest peak rises to 2,154 meters and is famous for its narrow trails running along cliffs that are almost completely vertical. The most terrifying attraction is the Changkong Plank Walk, a wooden walkway only about 30 centimeters wide, attached to the mountainside with iron supports. Here you are required to wear a safety harness as you make your way above a sheer drop of more than 600 meters. You can feel powerful bursts of cold wind and the slight vibration of the wooden planks beneath your feet. Stone steps carved directly into the mountainside hundreds of years ago are still used today. Some sections of the trail are so narrow that you have to grip iron chains tightly just to maintain your balance. GPS signals here can frequently become unreliable because the towering cliffs block satellite signals, while the narrow mountain valleys create turbulent air currents. Mount Hua was also once a place where Taoist hermits lived and practiced spiritual cultivation inside small caves seemingly suspended high above the ground. You will see ancient pine trees growing from barren cracks in the rock, like hands desperately clinging to life. The feeling of standing on the summit and looking down into the deep valleys below is a mixture of fear and pride. Another modern structure that challenges your limits is the Aizhai Bridge in Hunan province. This suspension bridge connects two mountains and stretches across the Dahong Canyon. It has a total length of 1,176 meters. The bridge stands 336 meters above the ground, roughly equivalent to the height of a 110-story building. When standing in the middle of the bridge, you may see clouds drifting beneath your feet, while trucks far below look like tiny toys. The bridge offers a panoramic view of the valley below, with gray limestone cliffs and dense, dark green vegetation. This region is also famous for the Hukou Waterfall, one of the tallest free-falling waterfalls in China. Water plunges from the mountaintop, appearing like a ribbon of white silk suspended against the deep green backdrop of the ancient forest. The region is also captivating because of the rich culture of the Miao people, with villages perched along steep mountain slopes. Traditional wooden stilt houses, with weathered gray yin-yang tiled roofs, emerge through the mist, creating a mysterious landscape. The local people here still maintain the tradition of farming on steep terraced fields. This region also preserves legends of warriors who were turned to stone to protect the valley from invading forces. Gaoyiling is a rare geological landscape in Hunan province, formed by the region's unique Dongxia landforms, where red sandstone has been eroded over millions of years into sharp ridges resembling the blades of knives. From peaks rising more than 400 meters high, you can see bands of color winding across the landscape like a gigantic piece of woven fabric. The colors of the rocks constantly change, depending on the intensity of the sunlight throughout the day. In the morning, the rocks take on a soft pink hue, but as sunset approaches, the entire landscape appears to burst into brilliant shades of red. It can make you feel as though you are standing on the surface of another planet rather than Earth. The most remarkable features are the narrow rocky ridges, some barely wide enough for a single footstep, with sheer drops plunging down on both sides. According to legend, these ridges are the body of a sacred dragon that fell while protecting this land. Fanjing Mountain in Guizhou province offers another breathtaking experience because of its extraordinary geological formations. Rising to an elevation of about 10,570 meters, the mountain features two towering rock formations reaching toward the sky, connected by a small stone bridge. To reach the summit, you must climb thousands of steep stone steps carved directly into the mountainside. This region is also home to the extremely rare gray snub-nosed monkey, with only around 700 individuals remaining in the wild. UNESCO has recognized this area as a World Heritage Site for its exceptional biological and geological value. According to legend, this is a sacred and pure land where Maitreya Buddha once left his footprints. Some of the rocks here are more than 65 million years old, silent witnesses to the dramatic transformations of the Earth's crust. Every step toward the summit is a physical challenge, but the reward is a spectacular panoramic view across endless layers of forest-covered mountains. Number 4. Mysteries of nature and lands forgotten by time. Hukou Waterfall on the Yellow River is the second largest waterfall in China and is famous for its tremendous power. The waterfall varies in width from around 30 to 50 meters, depending on the season, with the water plunging approximately 20 meters. The thunderous sound of water crashing into the gorge below can be heard from several kilometers away. During the flood season, the water flow can reach as much as 8,000 cubic meters per second, transforming the entire area into a raging torrent of golden water, colored by enormous quantities of sediment. Clouds of mist rise high into the air, creating brilliant rainbows when sunlight passes through them. The force of the water is so powerful that it has sculpted massive rocks into smooth and unusual shapes over thousands of years. Local people regard this waterfall as a symbol of resilience and the powerful spirit of the Chinese people. The stone forest in Yunnan province is a gigantic limestone labyrinth formed more than 270 million years ago. This region was once part of an ancient seabed. After enormous geological transformations, the limestone formations rose from the earth and were gradually sculpted by wind and rain. The stone pillars here average between 20 and 30 meters in height, standing closely together to form narrow and complex passageways. You will see rock formations that resemble swords, animals, and even human figures. The landscape becomes especially surreal at sunset, when rays of sunlight shine through the narrow gaps between the rocks. According to a legend of the local Sani people, this stone forest was created by a young man who wanted to block a river to help his village. The silence of the stone and the strange beauty of the landscape can make you feel as though you have wandered into an ancient world. It is a remarkable testament to the long geological evolution of our planet. The Tengchong Volcanic Geothermal Scenic Area in Yunnan Province is home to more than 80 dormant volcanoes. The region contains hundreds of natural hot springs, with water temperatures ranging from around 40 to 96 degrees Celsius. You will see columns of steam rising continuously from the ground, creating a mysterious layer of mist that spreads across the valleys. One of the most remarkable locations is Rihai, or the hot sea, where the water boils and bubbles violently, continuously, releasing the distinctive smell of sulfur. Local people often boil eggs or cook food directly in these naturally heated pools. This is the result of intense geothermal activity taking place deep beneath the Earth's surface. Culturally, Tengchong is a meeting place for many ethnic minority groups, with vibrant traditional festivals and celebrations. The experience of soaking in natural hot mineral water surrounded by untouched wilderness is something truly special. The ghost city of Xinjiang is one of the strangest places in the region. Located in the middle of the barren Gobi Desert, this area features distinctive Yardong landforms, with thousands of earth and rock formations carved by powerful winds into bizarre and unusual shapes. When strong winds blow through the gaps between the rocks, they create terrifying whistling sounds, almost like the howling of monsters. These eerie sounds gave the area its name, the Ghost City, and have made it a place feared by many. The area covers more than 10 square kilometers, with daytime temperatures that can reach 40 degrees Celsius. According to archaeologists, this region was once home to a large freshwater lake with a rich ecosystem before gradually transforming into desert. Rock formations rising dozens of meters high resemble abandoned castles or ancient pyramids. When the sun sets, long shadows stretch across the sand, creating a dark and mysterious atmosphere. Deep within Hubei province lies the primeval forests of Shenongjia, a region closely associated with legends of the mysterious wild man. The area covers more than 3,200 square kilometers, with mountain peaks rising above 3,000 meters and covered in mist throughout much of the year. It is one of the most untouched wilderness regions in China, home to ancient trees that have survived for thousands of years. Scientists have documented numerous reports of human-like creatures said to be unusually large and living deep within the forests. People have reportedly discovered enormous footprints and strange strands of hair that they claimed could not be identified as belonging to any known animal species. Sunlight struggles to penetrate the dense forest canopy, creating a dark and humid environment. Underground streams flowing through caves produce mysterious echoes that reverberate through the darkness. Many visitors say they often experience the unsettling sensation of being watched by unseen eyes hidden behind the vegetation. To this day, the stories surrounding this region remain one of the great unresolved mysteries of China's natural world. Number 5. Harsh lands and places where time stands still. Yubeng Village, hidden deep within the Meili Snow Mountains, is one of the most remote villages in China. The village sits at an elevation of about 3,000 meters, surrounded by towering peaks covered in permanent snow. There are no paved roads leading here. You can only reach the village by hiking or riding a horse across steep mountain passes. Its complete isolation from the outside world has allowed Yubeng to preserve the traditional lifestyle of the Tibetan people. Early in the morning, the sound of cattle bells blends with prayers and chants from small temples, creating an atmosphere of extraordinary tranquility. Local people live largely self-sufficient lives, growing crops and raising yaks on lush green pastures. They believe that every mountain surrounding the village is home to protective deities. Some travelers come here in search of inner peace and to escape the noise and pressure of urban life. Yubeng truly feels like a place where time stopped flowing centuries ago. And finally, we arrive at Hosil in Qinghai Province, one of the largest wilderness regions in China. This is a land of extreme conditions, with an average elevation of more than 4,500 meters above sea level. The average annual temperature here remains below freezing, and powerful freezing winds can sweep across the landscape with tremendous force. Because oxygen levels are only about half of those found at lower elevations, it is extremely difficult for humans to live here for long periods. And yet, this harsh environment is a sanctuary for the Tibetan antelope and many other rare species. Every year, tens of thousands of Tibetan antelopes undertake migrations covering hundreds of kilometers to reach their breeding grounds. Glittering salt formations and vast stretches of barren grassland create a landscape that feels both majestic and profoundly lonely. Many people who travel here experience hallucinations as a result of severe oxygen deprivation. Electronic devices may also malfunction because of the extreme weather and harsh environmental conditions. Hosil stands as a powerful reminder of the overwhelming force of the natural world. Yes, this is China, a land of seemingly impossible wonders, where the boundary between reality and illusion can sometimes feel blurred. From mountain peaks that challenge you to face death itself to peaceful spiritual valleys, every step you take seems to open another page of history. Would you have the courage to stand face to face with the terrifying magnificence of nature? Or would you choose the tranquility of an ancient village? Whatever your answer may be, these wonders will remain. They have stood for millions of years, waiting to touch something deep within the human soul. This journey of discovery never truly ends, because every time you think you have seen and understood everything, another mystery emerges. The stories of stone, water, and humanity will continue, calling to those who still long to discover the endless beauty of our world.